Hi, this is Matt's Rundown. If you enjoy movie reviews and trailer reactions, you're at the right place. So why not subscribe and hit the like button down below.
Today we're going to be doing our review for Black Widow. Black Widow is a 2021 Marvel superhero movie directed by Cate Shortland, starring Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Florence Pugh as Yelena, David Harbour as Red Guardian, and Rachel Weisz as Melina. Black Widow tells the tale of Natasha Romanoff and her story basically between Civil War and Infinity War. So looking at the good, the movie was big, the action scenes were intense, there was lots of fight scenes, you have explosions, helicopters crashing. It was really immense.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a Marvel movie.
For me, one of the highlights of the movie was Natasha's sister, Yelena. She's funny, she's got this sarcastic wit about her that's brilliant. Her lines are expertly delivered throughout the movie. Definitely the highlight.
You got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and cover?
My plan was to drive us away.
It's a shit plan. God, I knew it. I knew you did. It's so cool, right? So much stuff in there. You wouldn't even know. We're both doing a really good job. Ha! This would be a cool way to die.
I can see the future of Marvel using her as a Black Widow, and it would work so well.
And I also like the family dynamics between Yelena, their surrogate mother and father during the spy mission, essentially.
Yeah.
And then obviously Black Widow.
Yes.
There was a lot of good, almost inside jokes to the family that actually worked quite well considering how dysfunctional it actually was.
Yes.
But I think we find out throughout the story that it was more functional than what they even thought. My favorite part of Yelena was when she was making fun of Black Widow. And that dynamic between the two when she's making fun of her poses and everything is funny. Yeah. And towards the end, Yelena actually does one of the poses. It's like, oh, gross. It was so funny.
It was well done. So, looking at the bad, and there's one thing that's glaringly bad for me in this movie, and that's Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a fun character. He's an underdog that you're going to grow to love, and you want to root for them and, yeah, go Taskmaster. Even though you're the bad guy, I kind of don't want to see you get hurt. Except in this movie, the Taskmaster is none of that. What they did with Taskmaster, I understand in the context of the story. It makes sense, the progression of why the person that they have in the Taskmaster role does what they do. At the end of the movie, it didn't have to be Taskmaster. There was no reason for them to use the Taskmaster name or mantle. I would have liked to have actually seen Taskmaster in the movie. Taskmaster is a good character, and this was not Taskmaster. And it irks me that they did this with the character. And I did not like the outfit. He's got such an array of cool outfits that they could choose from and select. And yes, the outfit makes sense for the story, which is why I say it could have been any mercenary, it didn't have to be Taskmaster, because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't work all around.
Basically, they spoiled Taskmaster because now that they've already given the mantle to someone else, they can't now reintroduce a proper Taskmaster, yes. Or it will be quite a
10 years down the line or something.
Yeah. A rigmarole.
Also, the movie had very low stakes. I mean, it didn't feel like there was anything on the line, really. Because you know how the story is going to turn out because you've seen the few past movies that are in the future.
Yeah.
So you know what's going to happen, you know, everybody's going to survive, everybody's going to be fine. It's very low stake, very low impact on the whole cinematic universe almost. Except for the introduction of a couple of characters, maybe.
Black Widow was sidelined a lot of the movie, or at least part of the movie.
I feel, yeah.
And it's disappointing that such a strong female lead and such a strong character just in general gets such a sad origin movie, which they really could have done long ago and so much better.
And you're right, they should have done this long ago, because now it's basically become this, yeah, we needed to put out a Black Widow movie because people want it. We want to introduce the new people, so we'll quickly throw it out. When it felt like, cool, let's quickly just fill time, almost.
Would have been better if they had actually placed it between Civil War and
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it would have felt in place and then maybe they could have punted a little less and focused a bit more on Black Widow.
Yes. Overall, it's a Black Widow movie, but it's also not at the same time. We had quite a long discussion on this. It's her movie. She's in it. She has a lot of screen time. But like you're saying, it's not really her movie because it's the origin story for her sister, for Yelena. So like you're trying to mix a farewell message with this origin story, and you're not really doing the farewell message justice.
Yeah.
Because of the extensive origin story. And take nothing away from Yelena. It was a great character and done very well, but more Black Widow and Black Widow might have been nice.
Yeah. It was just passing of the torch.
Yeah,
And Black Widow deserved her own movie.
she did.
So it was kind of disappointing. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the movie. There was a lot of action and it kept you busy and interested the whole movie.
And even though I don't like Taskmaster, it was cool to see Taskmaster using other people's moves in the fights with Black Widow and her sister and everybody. And yeah, that was fun to see.
Yeah. Just should have been done differently.
It should have been fun to watch and fun to interact with the character as well,
Yeah.
as opposed to just fun to watch.
So it was an entertaining movie, and I think people who enjoy the Marvel Universe should probably watch this movie to at least have that introduction and see the passing of the torch
Definitely.
and get a little bit more info on Black Widow.
In the movie, they also punt in their Disney Plus shows because there's references to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's references to the upcoming Hawkeye TV series. So you can see that's where Disney and Marvel's focus is going as well.
And I don't think anything's wrong with that. I've heard some people complain about the fact that these characters shouldn't have been like an afterthought and they should have been introduced and fleshed out a bit more earlier. But this is also a franchise that had to start somewhere and build. If they'd fleshed out every single side character,
Yeah.
would it have been the universe we know today? So I'm glad they're doing it, and I'm glad we get to be introduced and have more fleshing out of the other stories. And I know that's only possible because of the following they got through the other movies. So I would give this movie a 7 because I do really think that I still enjoyed the movie even though there were flaws.
So I was going to give it a 7. But then I thought about Taskmaster. So I'd give it a 4. But then I thought about Yelena. So I'll give it a 7.
I thought you were going to say 6.
No, 7 it fits.
Because Yelena was cool, and I don't know as much about Taskmaster, so it didn't irritate me as much as it irritated you.
Just irritated the whole movie through.
So overall, it gets a 7 from us. I think it's still worth a watch.
Definitely.
But there are going to be triggers, and people who are fans of comics and the Marvel Universe are going to get annoyed.
Let us know in the comments down below. What character from a comic book movie do you think they did the greatest disservice to?
Okay, I won't ask who you think that is. Although Deadpool in that first X-Men.
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Later.